tappers! Today I'm feeling peppy, and that means I'm inspired to share with you about the other side of tapping. So much of the publicity and education of tapping goes to relieving negative things, as well it should, since it is so highly effective for it. But what about a positive goal? What if you are reaching for something with great ambition, feverishly joyful as you go for it? Is there a place for tapping there? Of course! When you tap, the brain pays attention in a very communicative way. This is great in two ways. One, because it can really aid in supporting this great place in which you find yourself. And two, it will assist you preemptively if there are walls of limiting beliefs that you are charging towards but are yet to become aware of. I was elated at the implications when Dawson told me that clinical studies have shown that EFT is effective against even latent PTSD, or in plain words, against issues you don't know you have yet. A very extreme example is of a man who served in the military and returned from service seemingly unaffected. He adjusted back into civilian life very easily, and he was a very happy, present, loving person until one night, 20 years later, he awoke from a war nightmare and discovered he was choking his wife. Why his brain decided to engage at that time was uncertain, but had he received a proper treatment like EFT preemptively, it's highly likely that he would have worked through his latent issues at that time and could have avoided the devastation of having to deal with it at full bore 20 years later. As humans, we tend to have a very high threshold of shouldering difficult things and pressing forward. We find a way around it, we find a way through it, and we find a way to be happy about it, or at least okay with it. And we're kind of taught that that's the way. Buckle down, buckle up, square your shoulders, press on, press forward, push through. And all of that is great until we have, pebbles that are nothing alone, but really cause a problem in the hundreds or hundreds of thousands. Tapping on the positive is always where we end, right? And it always feels great. And it's okay to start there if that's where you are. You don't have to look for a problem. Okay, let's see. Today's going really well. Ahead of schedule. I gotta think of something wrong so I can tap today. No. Be tap happy. And if something comes up to counter it, great. You found a place for movement. If nothing comes up to counter it, great. Tap in all of those wonderful feelings, thoughts, and affirmations and create a safe place with that feeling so that you can train your brain to feel secure and familiar there and let you join that party more often. Although, I do need to warn you, I have noticed that a very prevalent side effect of tapping this way, for me, is to break out into dancing, singing, and/or laughing. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'll see you soon.